It's the beginning of the second season of the Youth Academy Challenge save with Telford United, and after last year getting in the 7th and being the playoffs, I was hoping that we could again do really good things. However, this year, a lot of teams got promoted to our division. So while we're expected to be in 14th place, 6 teams got promoted to this division. So I'm starting to feel like maybe again we can survive. And I will also say this, despite everything, Ricardo Dananga is also in the media dream 11, and despite the fact he's unhappy and could literally leave at any point, he's not left. Either I found a bug or something else has happened, because he's got a transfer value even though he's out of contract. Unless it's because his age is causing a compensation fee to be required, he's not leaving. He should be gone, but he's not gone. I'm not complaining, I'll take advantage of this situation, but he's only a good National League player who could become a good League 2 player. So that's fine. What isn't fine is we did lose a player already this season, and it was a player I was fearing we were going to lose. Brad Bood had already left us. He left us at the end of his contract, which is why I was surprised that Dananga has not left us. He left us and is going to Chesterfield, it looks like, which is a shame. Chesterfield are quite good. They are only a National League team. I thought they were higher than that. In real life, they should be getting promoted at the moment, but this team are going to be taking up Brad Bood, so fair enough. He's got to move to a higher division. I hope he does well. I don't hate him. I actually really adore the guy because he was so good for me over the years. I just wish he had stayed with us, but whatever. There's nothing you can really do at this point. He got 10 assists, so he definitely played his part in our season. That being said, Hall's not retired. That's good. He's just retired from becoming a professional player, even though, to my knowledge, he's never been a professional player. If he's been on a professional contract at any point with likes of Rokin and Esfleet, then I don't know, but I didn't think he had, so this is a very weird situation. St Mirren, though, might be the way he got his professional contract, and Charlton, so maybe that's where he got his professional contract from, but everyone else, surely he's been like a part-timer, so maybe I'm just underestimating how good he could be. Either way, he's still with us, so we do have 2 goalkeepers at the club. I've also managed to convince Fox to not retire and stay with us. The fact this is our best left back now is a concern, and he's also a scout, which when you realize how good he is as a scout, definitely tells you that yes, that's not ideal. This guy was so desperate to become a scout that every time I tried to offer him just a contract as a player, he said, no, I need to be a scout as well. It also might be because I messed up the first contract negotiation with him, but that is beside the point. He was adamant that he was going to become a scout as well as a player for me, so yeah, that's annoying. But as we look through the players and the team, we do have areas of weaknesses. Right back, right wing, because Dananga is the only good player there, though we have got young players coming through, so that's not as much of a concern. And left back, Kieran James is my first choice this year, I've decided, because I feel like I have to make this guy my first choice, even though I don't particularly want to. It's literally one of those things where I have to throw this guy in the first team, because the guy who would be in his spot is already gone. The best roles are actually the centre-back positions, as well as the left winger and up front. So Dananga could also play in all those positions, so that's all good. We do have Mitchell who can play up front as well, and we've got Yusuf who should be back from his injury. We've also got Rimmer and Matai who can play there. Honestly, Matai is probably the player that I'll be playing here as an inverted winger, even though he's only got 2 crossing. I know. I should just make him as an inside forward, quite frankly, but what can you do? We've got to be smart about this and play to our players' strengths. So I'm not going to play him as an advanced playmaker, even though he's better at the role. Doing it on the wing just doesn't feel right for me. Unless I go for like an attacking midfield or something, I just don't feel like it's the best option and the best idea in the world. Even if I do have multiple formations, I could literally play him as an attacking midfielder in. So I'm just having to weigh my options, I really am. But DM is also a weakness, but we have Remy Walker, who is just going to be my DM, who I will be using there a lot. And I think you can see why when you realize how well-rounded the guy is. He's also a good player for the division. He's going to get better, actually a leading player for the division, and is a good National League player in the future. He's also got a contract extension that I can activate at any point. I'm also paying him £800 a week. So maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's not a good thing. I don't know. I just hope that the players we have got at the club are going to help us grow together. At least financially, we're okay. We did lose some money, but that's also because I asked for a few things to happen. I've got my National B license, but I'm also studying for my National A license, which is good. That's lovely stuff. But yes, I managed to convince a load of players to sign new contracts. Their contracts literally started at the end of the season or beginning of this year. So we got a load of players signing new contracts, which is really, really useful. Some of them on 2-year deals. Some of them good calls. Others may not be. But there you go. Stuart Priest actually was my favorite player last year. And despite the fact he's unambitious, he's actually been really good. He's now considered a decent player for our division, I think, and could improve a lot. I don't think his potential ceiling is going to be that high, but I don't mind that because he's still performing. He got above a 7.0 rating last year, so 9 goals, 9 assists, 3 player of the match award. He's really useful. But I did convince the board to improve both our junior coaching and youth recruitment after the new season ticked over, so that was nice. And I'm happy that is the case. We actually literally just got our National B license a few days after the season started, so that's great. And Bood leading us is still going to hurt me, but what can you do? And as confirmed, as I mentioned this earlier, we are studying for our National A license, so happy days. Either way, one more thing I want to talk about, and this is literally a thing that I only discovered after I finished up last time out, was how many goals people were scoring. Like, there was 3 teams who scored 100+ goals, and we were 9th on the top goal scorers chart, and we got 84 goals. So, clearly there's a thing that happened. There was also at least 2 teams that conceded 100 goals, and only one of them got relegated. So, that was a fun situation. Southport finished 10th, having scored 100 goals. So, again, fun times. We actually had the 3rd best defense. I hadn't realized how good at defense was compared to the rest of the league, so that's actually mental now I look at that. So clearly the formation's working. It was just everyone else was going gung-ho themselves and just completely going against the grain and destroying their own defense. But what can you do? Either way, let's see how this season goes, shall we? So in the end, Ricardo Donanga has left us for Chesterfield. They paid $9 grand for his services. I couldn't do anything about the deal. He was out of contract. And they just got him. He's not had the best of times in front of goal for them, but he is also still having a good season by the standards we were looking at last year. Are we missing him? Because, well, he's not the only person that left us for Chesterfield of all teams. So, yeah, Chesterfield have taken 2 of our best players. Brad Bood has also left us for Chesterfield, and he left at the end of his contract. He didn't want to sign a new one, and he then went to Chesterfield for nothing. So this was disappointing because I thought we could keep hold of him. We couldn't. So Chesterfield have got 2 of my best players, and I'm sad by the situation. They are actually 2nd place in the league, so they're only the National League and not promoted yet, which was a surprise. But stuff has happened since we last met because we actually had a really good season so far by our own standards, at least compared to what I was expecting. Admittedly, we lost the first game of the season against Alphington Town, but then we beat Marine, and I thought to myself, okay, if we could beat Marine, that's a good start to our season. And then we didn't lose a game until the first game of September, and that was great, though we didn't win a single league game in September. And it's been a mixed bag since then because we've been good in the cups, really good in the cups, to the point that I'm surprised we've done as well as we have. And I'm actually going to start making a point of showing you guys the first goals of every youth academy player that scores this year onwards. So that's going to be something that you guys can look forward to. And we're in the 3rd round of the FA Cup because we beat Grimsby Town. We beat Grimsby Town, where we're taking on Chesterfield in the FA Cup. We got knocked out of the FA Trophy in the 3rd round by Kidderminster, having beaten them early in the year. So clearly they took revenge on that situation. But FA Trophy, 3rd round, FA Cup, 3rd round. This has been a good year for the Cups, and I'm happy about it because financially, we have now got £900,000 almost, and that's a good sign. And we will get more money when we take on Chesterfield in the FA Cup. So that's a good thing as well. But in the league so far, we are currently in 12th place. Only 5 points off the playoffs. We are in no danger of being relegated. We are 25 points clear of that. In fact, there's a 10-point gap between 21st and 20th. So we're in a good spot, I think, right now. And I'm happy with where we are. The fact we got 7th place last year is not lost on me. And yes, we are probably going to lose more games this year than we did last year. But it is a streaking squad. We've lost 2 of our best players. And I'm hopeful we can keep hold of our players right now. But most players at the club have got 2-year contracts or have got a 1-year contract with a contract extension. So we should be good. And I'm happy with where we're going right now. This is a very good start to our season. And I'm hoping this can continue. But this is a youth intake preview. It's not amazing, I will acknowledge, but there is a striker and a centre midfielder and a wide midfielder that looks good. Goalkeeper, fullback, attacking midfielder and wingbacks apparently are only a C, which honestly, given our squad, that may be fine. Centre-backs, wingers and DMs are not great though, so it could be worse. But yeah, so Metapod is saying I'm going to show you every single player who's come from my academy's first goal of their careers. This is Stuart Pearce's first ever goal. That was a goal last year to help us get a 2-2 draw, and that was good. I showed you Lazarus and Mitchell's first goals for us from our academy, but I'm going to show you them again because they're good, even if Lazarus was a bit lucky to get this goal. While Mitchell's goal was enough to get us into the playoffs last year, and that's enough to say we've got a good future here. And that was last year. This year, a load more players have got their first goals from our youth intake, from our academy. Matai got his first ever goal from our youth intake, and he scored the equalising goal to get us a share of the spoils and actually help us win the game against Kings Lynn Town, where we scored a 94th minute winner. Oh, I just remembered, one of my players scored an overhead kick as well. This is a game against Kirsten Aston where I scored perhaps the best goal we'd ever scored. Priest finds Lazarus, he plays in the middle, and Mitford scores an overhead kick with that effort. A really good goal. And perhaps the best goal you'll see us score ever, as far as I'm concerned, just from its sheer athletic ability. It was outstanding. We still lost 3-2, but that was a goal to get us from 2-0 down to get us to 2-2. So you can imagine my reaction. Michael Wimmer got his first ever goal for us in this game. It was an outstanding effort. In off the bar to find the back of the net from long range. Our victory against Grimsby Town was actually a game we came from behind in, and Kieran James got his first ever goal for the club in this match. So we're going to show you that. And the fact that 2 goal scores from us came through our academy and are 18 or younger in this match really says a lot. Kieran James got his first ever goal from this season, and Walker finds James. James has a little runder, shoots and scores to make it 2-1 on the day and to give us a lead for the first time, which we never let go of. A very good goal. We've got to go to the youth intake now, and we're going to see who comes through our academy because I am very, very excited. Can we do well in the league? And can we beat Chesterfield to get an amazing draw in the FA Cup? Let's find out, shall we? In the end, Chesterfield did beat us in the FA Cup third round. Elliot List got 2 goals. Denanga got an assist as well. And apparently, he is considered a rival of mine, which is very ironic to me. So, hopefully that's not a thing we need to worry about in the future. But we made some good money, and I might have spent all the money on a new toy. I say a new toy, I've literally convinced the board to help improve the training facilities, which should be happening next month, hopefully. So they're going to be back up to good. I'm happy about this. It just means we've got some good things happening in the very near future. If we can get the training facilities back up to... good, that's wonderful. It should be done before the end of the season. It should hopefully be done before the end of the season. But there you go. Financially, you can see where we've had the improvements done. We were at £900,000 at one point. It went up to £1 million. I thought I'd better ask, and it turns out it cost about £900,000 to get the facilities upgraded. So, yay for that. At least we're making money, and we're doing okay with it. Though we are losing money this month, so maybe that's not something I should be celebrating so soon, eh? But since the Kidderminster game, which we lost 3-0, we've had a bad run. We've lost 3 or 4 games. We then beat Southport, drew against Kings Lynn, which was honestly very annoying because we should have won this game. We considered a 90-minute equaliser. We beat Easton. We lost to Darlington, who were top of the table. We beat Kirsten Ashton. And then we drew against Braintree, drew against Warrington. And we then beat Chorley, who were, at the time, second place. There was 4 penalties in this game. We missed one, but scored one. They scored both of their penalties. And then the last couple of games, we've lost 4-1 to Blythe Spartans. This was annoying. We drew 0-0 against Newington. We lost 1-0 to Chester, 1-0 to Kettering. We beat Buxton by 3-1. And then we drew against Leamington, the game we really should be winning. So, yeah, not ideal to say the least. We've got 6 games left. And as things stand, the playoffs is kind of a distant memory. I'm not looking at the playoffs anymore. I just want to top our finish at this point because we are 4 points off Chester City. We are very average this year, but that's fine. We are so far clear of the relegation zone, it doesn't matter. Realistically, 16th is the lowest we can get, but the highest I think we should be aiming for, or can aim for, is 11th. So it's one of those seasons. I don't think it's a bad season. I don't think it's a great season. It's just average, and that's fine. We just want to survive and help establish the young talent we have in the squad, and that's good. That being said, Fraser Kerr is not happy with the fact that we've not got sufficient depth at left back, which this is going to be a bit annoying because I may have just gotten someone who's going to help with that problem. Also, Kerr is 33. He's got a few months left in his contract, but I can literally extend his contract, use this clause, so it's almost as if I thought this would be a problem. The question is, do I keep an unhappy player here that could hinder our progress, or do I just let him go? But still, this is our intake, and I like to think it's a good one. Even if for some reason we got a Hungarian and someone who is both English and Italian. No idea what's going on there, but okay. Chris Bell was born in Telford, and he's a left winger, a very useful player. And if you look at his physicals, he's already going to be a nuisance in itself. Good acceleration, good agility, good pace. He's got 15 determination, 12 teamwork, 11 dribbling, 16 years of age. That's a good start for us. And if we were to look at him as a left winger, he'd be literally the third choice there. But left winger, like further up, we're looking at potentially someone who will be my plans as fighting Matai to get you to spot, so that's good. Mitford's not really a player I'm going to use there. Same with Gidston. Moore's retiring, so we've got an option now that helps us with strength in depth in the left winger position, and I'm happy about it. Another centre midfielder, this time Aaron Hibbert, so not really sure what he's going to be good at for me, but he's got 11 tackling, 14 teamwork, 11 anticipation, so he works hard for the team, and he's actually smart enough to realise what's going to happen around him, even if his decision-making is only 5. But he could be used as a midfielder. I don't really know where I want to be using him, though, is the problem. His passing is just 3, so he's definitely just a ball winner. I can't rely on him to do any good passing, quite frankly. But he's got 10 crossing, and I don't know why. So, why he can cross, but can't pass, I don't know. He can't head the ball. He can't pass the ball, but he's just there. If he's there to be putting a good tackle, then by all means, do that. Maybe I don't need him to do a lot of things. Even if his marking is 6 and positioning is 6, if we can get him to do better things, then who knows? He could be useful. Even if he's also not very brave and doesn't concentrate very much. There are some very problematic things with these young talents here, isn't there? Johnny McNally is my first right back that honestly could be an out-and-out right back that I can truly say is just a right back and not a centre back. I mean, I wouldn't use him as a centre back anyway. He's got low determination, which is not ideal, but he's quite smart. 13 decision making, 12 bravery. He's also got 13 leadership, which doesn't really account to much here. But if I look at the other attributes that I would want him to be doing and want him to be using to use the wingback position, who knows? He could be useful. He's better as an inverted wingback then an inverted fullback. That's interesting to me. But do I want to play that position, that role? The fact that I've literally only just got him now and he's literally going to be the third choice in that position. When I say third choice, he's literally second choice because Pendley's a centre-back. So the fact we got someone who's finally able to play right back naturally is really good. Pigger is my first choice, but he's naturally a centre-back who's playing as an inverted fullback. So what do I do in this situation? When do I give McNally some first team minutes? That's a good question, isn't it? This is a name that's going to be an interesting one. John Musselwhite. Now, I think he is going to be a useful player. Can play both wings, can also be a striker. He's definitely pressing forward, but he can be an advanced forward as well. So, what role do we give this kid is the question. And do we even play him up front? I think he could play as both wingers. I really do believe he could play on both wings as an inverted winger or inside forward. So that's useful. He does need to work on a few things. His passing is not magnificent. But who knows? We could definitely work on him regardless. He does need a lot of work though. But then we got Saba Kis. And I think this is our future striker. I really do. As a pressing forward, he looks incredible, doesn't he? A pressing forward in attack. 18 teamwork. 15 work rate. He's got 16 natural fitness. Yes, there's a lot of attributes that could do some work. But he's got 12 leadership. And he's got 11 determination. He's also got 12 technique. So if he's bad at something, he can definitely work on it. And he could also be, if I really wanted him to be, an advanced forward for us. So if we needed to, we could literally have Mitchell play further back and this guy up front in the future. We've got options now, and I'm very excited by it because Gibson has been very poor this year. And this guy could take Gibson's spot as a striker. Who knows? Or we could play this guy and Mitchell up front together as a front two. I haven't decided yet, but that's a food for thought. But this is the guy I was talking about when I was talking about strength in depth at left back. Amari Papato. Now, he is accomplished, competent as the left back position. I think if we look past his obvious weaknesses, marking and passing being some of them, he could be useful. He's got 10 crossing, 12 acceleration, 12 stamina, 11 work rate, 11 determination, 13 aggression. So he could definitely do a good thing. If we can develop him and make him better, then we might have a very exciting young talent on our hands. Yes, he's fickle. Yes, he's inconsistent. But as a left back who can give us some strength in depth, I can't complain. Even if he's off the ball, he's only 3. But that's beside the point. He's still young. We can work on him. It's not like he's going to be starting for me when I've got Kieran James. Let's compare the two players quickly and show you why this is, yeah, he's not going to start anytime soon, is he? He's literally doesn't even beat anything in James. Good lord. Okay. Yeah. He's quicker, though. I'll give him that. He's quicker. And he is braver. And he's got better tackling. And better crossing. So he's actually not terrible. He just needs to work on a bit to improve. And yeah, you can see why I like Kieran James, can't you? He's really useful. We've also got Carrick Barrows, a centre midfielder who doesn't seem to know where he wants to be, but he's 6'4", set piece weapon. Also, okay, vision's not great, but I could train to be a DM. I do need more DMs. I definitely need more DMs. The Bay James Lodge is now starting to do good things here. Definitely something I need to work on, I think. But we got things we can work on. I think that this guy, as a set-piece weapon, 15 jumping reach, I've just realised. Yes, his head is only 4, but good decision-making, good first touch. If he can win his headers a lot, then maybe his heading of 4 isn't going to be the end of the world. I'm being optimistic, okay? I need to be optimistic. Paul Hall is English and Italian. You can see what nationality has taken forth with his name first and foremost, can't you? 5'7". He's not a winger because forward crossing is not great, but he's got good acceleration, good balance, good agility. He's actually got decent pace as well. 14 determination, 11 flair, but he's also not a striker because he's only got 4 finishing. I know that finishing isn't the be-all end-all, but he could be useful. Yes, he's also inconsistent as well, but he's not terrible. He won't last the 90 minutes. His stamina and strength aren't going to let him do that. However, if we can get him to be better, then who knows? He definitely needs to improve a lot, though. Jordan Heller. I've not actually seen this guy. He's super inconsistent and is an inside forward. Okay, another left winger. Unambitious too. What else could go wrong with you? Jack Cadwallader is another left back. He likes to knock the ball past his opponent when he's only got 9 pace and 7 acceleration. Decision making's good, but really? Really, guys? What have you been doing to this guy? He could play as a winger as well. What are you doing? At least Nigel Cahill's not bad. He's not got great potential, but he's not terrible. Apparently could be a shadow striker. Kept also plays as a winger. Actually looks like he generally could be a decent winger, actually. That's annoying me. That's annoying me more than I want to admit that he actually could be a decent winger right now. And he's not got great potential. But I also know that potential stars can also be an absolute lie. So we're going to see where this goes and go from there. Charlie Dempsey's our goalkeeper that's come through this year. And, yeah. Just a backup option. Nothing more. Jolin Thorndike is another centre-back. Doesn't have much of a future, but I'm going to give him a chance anyway. Akin Tweak is a centre midfielder. Nothing more to say about this guy, honestly. Royston Facey is a winger who doesn't have a lot of potential. And Harry Springthorpe. Some of these names are amazing. But this guy's a centre-back who is 6'4". I love that he's 6'4". It's just a shame he's not got much else going for him. Also perfectionist, but that's the worst part. He's got the best personality I could ask for, but he's got no potential ability. It's almost like I need to be a coach. Okay, we're going to go to the last 6 games of the season. We're going to see what happens, and when we get the end of the season roundup, I'll just be back for that. So we finished up the rest of the season. We drew 0-0 against Tamworth. We lost 1-0 to Kidderminster Harris, having scored an own goal, and then lost 2-0 to Macclesfield. And honestly, at this point, I just turned off the game because I was just frustrated with how things had gone in this match. We were so much better in terms of creating chances. We just couldn't take them. And then they scored 2 late goals, and I thought, you know what, I'm not dealing with this. I'm going to turn the game off. Turns out, turning the game off and getting a new perspective of things was a good idea because we then won 2-0 against FC United. We then won 1-0 at home against Bradford Park Avenue and drew 1-0 against Scarborough, having taken the lead. So we did okay. Not amazing. We got 8 points in 6 matches, 2 wins, 2 draws, 2 defeats, and it leaves us in 14th place. So we failed to get top half, but honestly, the points we got last year was only 77 points. We would have failed to get the playoffs anyway this year with the points we got last year, so I'm not upset. Last year, 42 points was enough to go down. This year, the teams in relegation zone was so bad that even I couldn't believe how bad they were doing, so we just absolutely eclipsed the relegation zone, and that's fine. It's not often I can say I got double the points of teams in the relegation zone having finished in 14th place, but it's happened. We're safe. And we're good. Mind you, I do have a problem. I've noticed it. No player of mine is in the top 20 positions of goals scored. We did get at least a few players that got 10 plus goals this year, but even then, not amazing. And we got a few expectations now on our shoulders. The board have given me 9 grand to work with in the wage budget, which is fine. I've been linked with MK Dons because their manager left them for Bristol City, their League One team. If this is a journeyman save, I'd absolutely consider this opportunity. The same with the Blackpool job, which, fair play, they're now in League One mid-table. But both teams, I would consider if it was a journeyman save, but it's not a journeyman save, I'm not going to consider the move. It's one of those things. If you guys want to see me do a journeyman save, let me know in the comments down below for future ideas. Because I'd like to get some ideas of what people want to see in the future. Yeah, seriously, I didn't want to go to this job right now. It just didn't feel like a smart move on my part. Mind you, their caretaker manager, why is he not their manager? He's really, really good. I know he's the head of development, but look at the state of him. He's really good as a manager. For their level, at least, anyway. But yeah, supporter profile updates. We lost 98 followers on social media, but let's be honest. Why would we care about that? That's not the most important thing in the world. They want me to play entertaining football, be competitive with Mr. Harris, develop players using the youth system, which, let's be honest, that's the goal of this save. Play possession football, play high-tempo pressing football, make the most of set pieces, forge a higher reputation than Newton, be competitive with Tamworth, and avoid relegation from the National League North, which, last 2 years, we've done that comfortably. This year, hopefully that can be something we can work on as well. And the board want me to avoid relegation as well, so that's a thing. The training facilities have not been finished yet. They finished in May, which is a few weeks away anyway at this point, so that's fine. And then they want me to become established in this league anyway, so pretty much doing what we've been doing for the last couple of years, and that's fine. I can work with this. So let's tell the players that we are going to get a position where we're going to avoid relegation. We're good enough not to be involved in a relegation battle next year, that we are likely target. Thank you very much. Let's do this. So nothing else to talk about. Thank you very much to you guys. I do have one upset player right now, and that's fine. Mostly because I extended his contract when he was concerned about the quality of strength in the squad. Let's be honest, Remy Walker was always going to leave. He's not going to stay with us after this season anyway, or at least next season. He's a good player for our division, and he's upset with the quality of the squad. So, yeah, it's not ideal to say the least. He also scored a load of penalties. He scored 12 penalties this year, so that's where most of his goals have come from. He also missed 3 penalties, but that is beside the point. He's a good player who could be a leading player for this division, so really, if I'm honest with you, if I'm going to be very critical of this guy, he's never going to be good enough to get out of this division anyway, so it is what it is. Despite how many goals he got, he was not as good as last season, so playing him as a deep line playmaker probably wasn't his best option, wasn't the best thing we could have done for him. But given we just didn't have the quality last year, I felt like I had no choice. But best goal scoring year, but that's because he's the penalty taker. So what can you do? We were good at getting penalties. Oh, they want to improve our youth level. Okay, let's do that. Yes, we could do that. I love this. Thank you. I don't know how much it's going to cost us, but it should be applied at the end of the season. I should probably go back in the edit and see what they were saying, but I'm just happy with the fact that we're actually improving our youth level. But yeah, 3 more weeks until the training facilities are done. I might go that deep into the video, into the season, and go from there, because I want to see who gets promoted from our division through the playoffs. Okay, did get a tax bill because of the fact we spent all the money on the training facilities, and we got a new sponsorship, so that's good. It's down by about £500, but it's not the end of the world. And we've got a scouting budget of 20 grand, so that's good. So we're now back up to £256,000 in the bank, which is great. The fact that we are making 100 grand on sponsorship money still is useful, and hopefully something we can keep providing. I'm not going to touch anything else with the facilities right now because I don't want to really cause myself problems here. The outlay we put on the training facilities is already big enough as it is. And if we look at the sponsorship income, we're actually not as high up as last year. The load of the teams that came up actually have decent sponsorships. They just don't do a very good job of spending their money. Okay, and the season reviews happen because the playoff finals just happened. The fact we've got confetti falling, despite the fact we finished 7 places lower than last year, says a lot. No signings made, though we did lose 2 players to Chesterfield. Denango got an assist against us in the FA Cup 3rd round. I don't think Chesterfield got out of the 4th round of the FA Cup because Watford, of all teams, managed to get the semi-final of the FA Cup. No idea how that happened, but they're a League One team, so fair play to them. Also, the board are happy with the fact we released Brad Bood, even though I wanted to keep him. Does the board hate my players or something? Anyway, yes, Kidderminster ended up getting promoted for the playoffs after finishing 3rd place. Darlington will be ruined the day they messed up, even getting to the final because they didn't even do that properly. You'd think they would, but they didn't. Tamworth got to the final instead, actually, so fair play to Tamworth. Though, if you look at our season and where we finished things off, we were only told to attempt to avoid relegation, and we did. We got a load of periods where we were winning games. We also had a lot of periods where we weren't doing great. In fact, I think 4 games was the longest stretch we had without winning. And it happened twice. Once in September, the entirety of September. Chorley beat us at the end of that. We beat Chorley later on in the season. And then towards the end of the season, we did it 2 more times, actually. I just realized. Yeah, 1 win in 9 kind of killed any hope of getting top half this year. And that was after we beat Chorley and then down to Macclesfield. I didn't realize how bad my run of form was until I just seen this now. Wow, okay. FA Cup though, 3rd round, we beat Grimsby Town in the FA Cup. We beat Scunthorpe, we beat Billericay. That's good. The fact we got knocked out by a National League team instead of an actual league team kind of irks me a little bit, but we did okay. We were good. FA Trophy, Kidderminster destroyed us, and given they just got promoted, doesn't look so bad now, does it really? Biggest win was our 4-0 win in the FA Cup. The match to remember was the 3-2 victory against Kings Lynn, where we came from 2-1 down to win 3-2 thanks to a 94th minute winner by Mitford. And the goal of the season was Wimmer, not the overhead kick. Okay, what is this goal? I can't remember this goal. I need to see this. We even missed a penalty in this game as well, so the fact we didn't beat Leamington later on at their ground annoys me still, but here we are. Here's James with the ball. Finds Pendley. That's how high up my defense works sometimes. Oh, that's why. Yeah, that's a really good goal. Wimmer's finish. I remember that now. That was outstanding. I should show you some other players who scored in their first goals, actually. I'll do that later. Finances. They are going down a little bit. The prize money we definitely improved on, given the FA Cup run. That was good. And we're doing okay. New deals, though, making more money. That's nice. Merchandise sales, we just sold 12 grand worth of stuff. It's fine. My success has helped the club finances, obviously. The fact Kieran James is the only player to get a 7.0 rating on average is interesting, but is it a bad thing? My front 3 and Wimmer barely getting into the 6.8s is not ideal. Lazarov, Yusuf, and Mitchell. Yusuf is an established player at this point, so the fact he didn't do much is interesting and makes me question whether or not I should be keeping him around with the young talent coming through. Lazarov is a youngster who's got really bad consistency, so it's not shocking. He also didn't know how to play this role until the season, so hopefully he can improve. Mitchell is definitely improving. I'm just not sure how good he's going to be. He's also determined and has got a 2-year deal. I think I put a optional extension in this contract. I could be wrong, but he's got a good future. The fact that Wimmer is also looking good now is promising. The players are starting to improve. You've also got Priest, who's actually quite good, but may not become much better because of the unambitious personality he's got. So that's a problem. The fact that Walker got the most goals because of his penalties and he's unhappy is not ideal, but he's got good value, so I actually might consider selling him for the higher echelons of that price. James was good though. He's definitely improved and is starting to show why I have a lot of faith in him. The ambitious personality helps. Fraser Kerr, we've extended his contract for 1 more year. It might honestly be the last year we keep him around for because he's 34 next year. Pendley is a player that we can keep around, but I don't know if he's going to be good enough for us long term. He's also 30 now. He's got another year in his contract. And Piggott we kept around again. He's more of a centre-back than a right-back, but he's playing inverted full-back, so he's not terrible. He just needs to work on a few things, and I think we can work on that. He also likes to bring the ball out of defence, so that's an interesting problem. And Brandon Hall's also 33. I should drop him, but he was actually quite good towards the end of the year, so I don't know if I can drop him at this point. Accolades, Fans Player of the Year, Kieran James, won everything in that regard. Wimmer again, the goal of the season was good. Walker was the top goal scorer with 15. Lazarov got the most assists with 12. And the fact that Kieran James was so good for us this year is very impressive. And I'm very excited about his future, here. Gibson got a hat-trick. Apparently it's the first hat we've scored in a save, which is very surprising. Lazarov getting the most assists this year was useful. And Brandon Hall got 18 clean sheets the most so far. Piggott also has made the most appearances. Gibson's got the most goals. Denanga, the highest sale. And Moore is retiring, but is the oldest goal scorer we've ever had. So that's good. And it's still a good season. And we were quite good. We weren't expected to do much. And we did well. So I'm not concerned. Oh, and we also managed to make 100 games in charge. So there you go. Is it, I mean, compared to the previous year, yes, it is concerning that we've dropped 7 places, but at the same time, we weren't expected to do this well, so I don't know what they're complaining about. But at the end of the day, we've done well for ourselves, and we've done a good job here. The fact we've got numerous players who played 100 plus games for us at this point is interesting. Gibson, I'm definitely dropping though. I feel like Gibson's just lost his way a little bit, and actually, I could get away with getting rid of him. We got players coming through that can just replace him at this point. So I might just get rid of Gibson. I honestly am just considering that strongly because his season, compared to last year, the goals dried up and he just did not find his form at all. Which is an absolute shame because he was really good for us last year. But he's lost his way, he's lost his spot now. And he's gone. But if we look at this compared to last year, then we're looking good here. Gibson got 26 goals. Denanga, again, really bad to see him go. Forsyth, I didn't even play him last. I did not play him this year. He was my penalty taker last year, wasn't he? Yeah. So whoever plays my DM position tends to play as my penalty taker, which is ironic. But there you go. So compared to last year, we've lost some talent. But at the end of the day, it's not the end of the world. Lazov also played last year briefly. So he's got 7 goals to his name. Is it amazing? I mean, compared to last year, the average rating has gone down dramatically in the midfield and up front, but Yusuf wasn't good last year either. In fact, Yusuf has actually improved his average rating compared to last year. And overall, if I was to look at this, the average rating in the team, while it's gone down, has actually smoothed out and evened out. So it's not like we got one stand-up player or one player just missing out everything compared to last year. No one really stands out so much outside of James, but even then, the average rating isn't massively inflated compared to other players. Yeah, we got like 2 players who were really high compared to everyone else, but everyone else wasn't really that far off either, so I don't know. It's a weird situation to be in. But yeah, 17 wins, which are the lowest we've had so far. 64 goals is a lot less than last year, like 20 goals less, so that's not ideal. But we only got like 11 points less than last year as well. So it's not like it's the worst situation in the world here. Josh Hines got 31 goals and 11 assists this year for Blythe Spartans. And they didn't even go up. Did they even get the playoffs? No, they didn't even get the playoffs and he was that good. Yeah, he's leaving them. There's no way they're keeping this guy. He was outstanding for them. Oh, apparently I'm still in contention with the Manager of the Season award. Don't know how that's worked out, but okay. So I thought I'd be nosy and see what happened with Chesterfield in the end because I want to see how my former players are doing. They won the league, so they're actually now back in the Football League for the first time in many years. They're going to hope to do well in League 2 and do quite good things. What I don't know is, where do they finish in the FA Cup? Did they get past the 4th round? No, they got Everton away. I would have loved to have been given Everton away. Everton away with that stadium size. Would that have been 1 million or something? Would that be close to 1 million? Because I see Chesterfield's balance now. It's quite good. They also lost in the semi-final of the FA Trophy to Tranmere, who are back down in the National League, who finished in 7th and got promoted too. So, yeah, there's a fact. Oh, we got Scunthorpe next year coming back down. Okay, we got Scunthorpe next year. Okay. Apparently they were quite bad after all. Okay, the thing I waited to the end to get to was the training facilities being upgraded. We're looking good, and it now means they're back up to good. Happy days. I'm happy that's the case. So, the question is, how long will it be before they get degraded? The fact that our youth level is now going up to level 2 is also interesting. I don't know how that's going to affect us financially, but at the end of the day, we've now got £364,000 in the bank. I think we're going to be fine financially for a while. We're normally pretty good with our finances if the fact that our projection here is anything to go by. And that's not even talking about the FA Cup runs and the Cup runs we're going to get in the future. So hopefully we get a good Cup run again next year and help boost our finances once more. But what I'm going to be doing is ending this here. I hope you guys have enjoyed yourselves. I hope you guys will like and share this video and that you subscribe to the channel. It really does help me out a lot. But anyway, until next time, goodbye and well, good night.